What is up, everybody? It is HomiesOfMars back again today with another comparison guide, and today we're going to do a jumble of two comparison guides in one video, so hopefully you can have your attention span last long enough, or maybe you just don't care to see the other one. But today we are doing Juggernaut Helm versus GGen, and then we're also going to be doing MLab versus GSorc. I've gotten like a ton of GSorc versus MLab requests, like PMs and everything, and you can see that the likes were, you know, they're pretty much the same, so I'm just like, alright, I'll go ahead and do this. And of course, I think there were older requests, like, because you know how YouTube like cycles out their top comments, so I just decided to go with those two because I was actually looking forward to doing both of these guides. So anyways, today we're going to start off with talking about GGen versus the Jugg Helm, or Helm of the Juggernaut versus Helm of the Great General. So as you can tell, the Helm of the Great General is your just normal tier 6 ability, WC top, and it's nice. I mean, you know, you can go speedy and you're berserked for like 6 seconds, and it does a pretty good range of 4 squares, and of course it gives you 10 defense, 2 vitality, and 2 wisdom, and it's 85 MP. So you know, the helmets, I kind of like them because they don't really use that much mana. I mean actually 85 isn't as much. It's like there's a noticeable difference between 85 and 100 usage. I don't know. And then we also have the Helm of the Juggernaut, which doesn't give you the ability to go speedy, but it armors you for 4.5 seconds and it berserks you for 4.5, but it still does it within 4 squares, so the range on them are the same. But it uses 5 more MP, alright, and you can tell it gives you the same defense, but it doesn't have the vitality or the wisdom. It just gives you 5 speed, which I mean it's kind of funny because it gives you 5 speed, but when you think about it, you know, it's nothing even compared to what speedy gives you. So I mean, 5 speed might be a tiny bit noticeable, but I don't know. And of course you can see the feed power if you really care about it. Feed power on this is only 380, but the Jugg Helm is just like 1,250. It's like right under the prot, which is 1,300, so it's a really high feeding power. And what really sucks about all this is the fact that you can't really get the Jugg Helm unless you go and drop one, so you can't go buy it anymore, which really sucks. You know why? Because I've never gotten one myself. I just went out and bought mine, so that really sucks. I really hate how this whole trading system has gone. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Helm of the Great General, or GGen, it's great for any situation, like rushing. Definitely it's a great rushing helm, obviously, because it gives you speedy, you know, rushing tombs and stuff. And it also does well in like Oryx 1 if you can dodge the bullets. You know, it does fine because, you know, berserking is great, and also really great for Stone Guardians. You know, really Stone Guardians don't do a whole lot of damage to you if you're a maxed warrior. And Godlands, if I was in Godlands, it depends what god I'm farming. If I'm farming, you know, not Septavius, gosh, the Ghost God, he just looks like Septavius. I'm fighting a Ghost God, or, you know, something that has the white bolt that does, like, I think it's 120 damage, I believe. Or maybe 100, I don't know. I haven't played in Godlands for so long. But the Jugg Helm, what it does is, if you guys don't know what armored means, you know, whenever you use it, it actually doubles your defense. So I have 63 defense here, and what happens is it takes that and doubles it, so I have 126 defense now whenever I'm armored. So that means you can tank, like, I mean, it's really helpful only for taking a lot of damage, or like big damage bolts like a shotgun. And when I mean a shotgun, like, I'm not saying you should go out and put yourself in danger, but it's great for cube gods. I mean, the Jugg is just, you know, you can go up to the cube god and you don't take that much damage. Make sure you know the time. You get used to 4.5 seconds because you don't want to get caught without the Jugg on when you're in a cube god or something. It's also good for, of course, Skull Shrines. You know, venting. The Jugg makes the warrior really easy to event on. Easy to event on. Now, personally, I will normally use the Jugg on a tomb whenever I'm fighting the bosses. It depends what boss. If you're good at dodging the armor break bullets or whatever, like boomerangs or whatever, then it'd be good to use the Jugg, because of course if you have an armor break, then the Jugg is really pointless, because then you're multiplying 0 defense. So, and here's how I use it. Actually, this is specifically how I use it. I use the Jugg for best, and then I use the Jugg for like nuts. I get nut down to, I don't know, you have to really think. Once I've done, I say, okay, yeah, I've done about half damage. Or once I'm getting close to Nut's rage, I put on the GGen for this reason. So whenever you're in the circle, you're fighting Nut, and then Nut just instantly rages, and you gotta run. Okay, you just gotta run backwards away from Nut, because you don't want to get paralyzed and sat on by Nut, because Nut is probably the scariest rage in the game, because Nut just like chases after you with like 50 billion paralyzed bolts. And that is how you use the GGen effectively in the tomb. And of course, once Nut's dead, I usually go back to the Jugg, because then it's Jeb is all is left, and whenever he rages, he runs away from you. He runs away from you. So that's all good. So yeah, that's pretty much all you really need to know about these two helmets. Again, it's really good to have the Juggernaut on a warrior, because the warrior definitely benefits from it. When you think about it, 60 defense is pretty much okay for a melee class. It's not the best. Knight is amazing, and then of course you have your paladin, which is interesting. I don't know, but anyways, guys, I hope you got a feel for both of these helmets. Again, I really wouldn't like to play without the Jugg, but if you have to, just use the GGen. I would never solo with a Juggernaut. I actually usually do end up using the GGen a good amount. Anyways, that is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and move on to GSorc versus MLab. Alright, so I've actually really questioned why people actually requested this guide. Is because there isn't really much of a difference between these two robes. Now, you can argue that one could be better than the other, and when you look at the stats, alright, just pay attention here. So, you see we have 4 attack, 13 defense, 6 wisdom, 55 maximum, or extra mana added to you, and it's the tier 13 robe, okay, and it's a 4% fame bonus, which is okay. And so you look at the robe of the Mad Scientist, it has 4 attack, 13 defense, 5 wisdom, 55 extra MP, which is the same as the GSorc, but it also gives you 2 vitality, and it has a 5% fame bonus, and it's soulbound, which sucks. I hate. Okay, let's continue. So, what is the only difference is that the Mad robes have 1 less wisdom than the GSorc, but the Mad robes adds 2 vitality. Now, if you really thought about it specifically, extremely, really put it under a microscope and say, okay, look, 2 vitality for the cost of 1 wisdom. Okay. Does that sound good to you? Because I think that sounds pretty good. I mean, giving yourself 2 vitality just by removing 1 wisdom. I mean, yeah, you benefit from it. You can't notice it. There's really no noticeable difference. I mean, I don't notice the difference between GSorc and MLab when I put on, whenever I don't see a difference between those regenerating, like, at all. Wait, just a tiny bit, maybe. Yeah, so there's really no big difference on your 1 wisdom lost, and the 2 vitality won't be noticeable either. So why even bother making a MLab robe? Well, the only reason I think they made the MLab robe is because it adds the MLab set. So really, I wouldn't use conducting and then full me and then GSorc and then experimental ring on my sorcerer. That's why you use MLab robe, not GSorc, if you're on a sorcerer. Like, I would personally just carry MLab because it's made for the sorcerer. That's actually the sorcerer set. And really the only time, I mean, basically you just wear the Mad robes just because you want it to look the same if you're wearing an experimental ring or something like that. I mean, this kind of goes together. I mean, yeah, a little bit of a color difference, but I have pretty much the whole set here. So yeah, there's really no difference other than the fact that you just do it. It's just like 2 pairs of shirts, okay? There's 2 shirts, they do the same thing, but one's black and one's green, okay? You're not going to wear a black shirt on green pants, will you? I mean, you're going to wear a green shirt on I don't know, I'm not good fashion. But anyways, guys, really there's just no big difference. It's just a 1% fame bonus and 1 less wisdom and 2 vitality. So really, guys, it's up to you. It's like, okay, what looks cooler? Okay, well, maybe MLab looks cooler on your sorcerer, but Grand Sorcerer robes doesn't look good on your sorcerer. I mean, it's kind of weird because like Grand Sorcerer doesn't look good on Grand Sorcerer. I don't know, guys. It's really kind of a stupid guide anyways to really compare these two. So just go ahead and check it out yourself and see what fits good for you. I'll talk to you guys later, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and I'll see you guys later.